Nice to see you. So let's do the chanting straight away. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami, dutayambi buddham saranam gacchami, dutayambi dhammam saranam gacchami, dutayambi sangham saranam gacchami, tadayambi buddham saranam gacchami, tadayambi dhammam saranam gacchami, Tatayambi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from the happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this. Great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, about to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, about to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, about to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, about to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tavata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasum Gati Bodhisu. Tayata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasum Gati Bodhisu. Tayata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasum Gati Bodhisu. Now time for a little bit of meditation. During the meditation, try to seamlessly keep your mind on the object, whether that's releasing the tension in different parts of the body, or focusing on the breath, or extending loving kindness, and so on. And if you get an overactive mind, then you need to calm the mind down by refocusing on the object. And if the mind becomes dull or sleepy, then you need to brighten your mind, brighten your focus on the object. Maybe because it's 5:30 or 6 a.m. in the morning in Britain, maybe the second one applies over there. Okay, so maybe the first one applies more so in Australia. So what I mean is overactive mind. and apply the antidote for that. And in Britain, maybe the underactive mind or sleepy mind, because so early in the morning. Okay, so let's release the tension from the body now. So gently close your eyes, lips gently touching, tongue resting on the upper palate in the mouth. Nice and relaxed shoulders. If you're sitting, then sit upright but not rigid. Start from the bottom of the body and release the tension in different parts of the body. So all around your feet, release the tension, if there is tension, that is. A long time ago, a student, actually in the US, when I went to visit my master, 2009, this one student asked a question in class and said, when he focuses on the body, he tends to cause tension. So if he focuses on the feet, he causes tension in his feet. And I said, well, you're being too tight, trying too hard. That's what's causing you to cause the tension. So you need to relax a little bit. So yeah, releasing the tension from the body is not to cause tension. It's to release tension. So release from around your toes and lower, or the bottom of the feet, the balls, the arches, the heels. And from the top of the feet and around your ankles and Achilles tendons. And your lower legs, the calf muscles, and around the shins, and all around your knees too. And your upper legs, the quad muscles, and the hamstrings. And release from your midsection, glutes, hips, hip flexors, groin. And from your lower back, side, lower abdomen. Further up your back to the center of your back. And likewise with the sides and front. And release from your chest, underneath the arms, and the upper back, lateral muscles, rhomboid muscles, upper trap muscles between the neck and shoulders, and your shoulders, and the biceps and triceps, and your arms, and your elbows, forearms and wrists, hands, fingers and thumbs. And to bring your focus to releasing whatever tension you may have around your neck, to the front of your neck, sides and the back of your head, and sides of your head, around your ears and temples. And then releasing from all around your face, around your cheekbones, cheeks. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw. Release from your chin and mouth, nose, sinuses, eye sockets, eyes. Make sure you're not frowning. And finally, release from the crown of your head. Now, very briefly, scan your bottom, your bottom. Scan your body from the bottom to the top. And if there's any leftover tension, then release it. And now bring your mind to the tip of your nose initially. And follow the feeling of the breath as you breathe in your nose all the way into your lungs and back out your nose again. So breathing in and breathing out. If thoughts arise, don't cling to them, grasp at them, try to force them away or deny them, but just simply and naturally let them go as you replace your mind back onto the feeling of the breath. And as mentioned before, if you get sleepy mentally, then wake your mind up a little bit by refocusing on the breath more brightly. And if you're so inclined, you can also add the extra technique of counting the breaths. One in breath, one out breath is one, and so on. Don't count past 10. And if you get distracted on the way towards 10, go back to 1 at that time. Remember, this is an extra technique to help you keep focused on the breath. So let's practice like this in silence for a little bit. Practice this breath meditation, samatha meditation, or calm abiding. Let's try to keep the body still. This will help to keep the mind still. And whether you do really short meditation sessions, as we're kind of forced to here in this class due to the time constraints, or you do longer, and just every now and then you can check your mind, because habitually our mind tends to wander, and during different times, different circumstances. And so you can check your mind, make sure it isn't wandering, make sure it doesn't become agitated, overactive, or the opposite, dull, And also really important to check your intention. Remember that karma was created in our intentions. And so we can check ourselves, if it is our habit to wander off, even after a few minutes or something, then check your mind in and place it back on the object. In other words, apply the antidotes that we've learnt well, and focusing again on your, in this case, the breath. And check, like I said, intentions. Make sure you're not getting bored or not thinking, this isn't fun. You don't want to do it anymore, things like that. Make sure your intention is good intention based on reality too, based on knowing the goodness of the practice. And so now we can feel pleased and rejoice and fill ourselves with universal loving kindness, utilizing the visualization of white light, visualizing our whole being filling with the white light. And really important is the feeling of this universal loving kindness. Fill yourself with so much loving kindness that it now overflows and radiates outwards from your heart center and enters into the heart centers and being of your loved ones, family and friends in front of you. Filling them with the universal loving kindness. Wishing that they have happiness and the causes of happiness, that they are free from suffering and free from the causes of suffering, and that they are peaceful. And now also include strangers and do likewise. And also enemies and do likewise. And now radiate this universal loving kindness out further and further distance-wise, initially around our immediate area, to all sentient beings, whether we know about them or not, whether we like them, are indifferent to them, towards them, whether we fear them, don't like them, all sentient beings live on the land, under the land, fly through the air, live in the waters, whether they're born from wombs, eggs, moisture, or through transformation. May they all be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. And may we all work our way towards supreme enlightenment. Doing no evil, doing only good, and purifying the mind. And also to all living beings throughout your whole state or county. And all of the states and counties throughout your country. And all of the countries throughout the world. Those you have an affinity towards, those you're indifferent towards, as well as those that you may have some negative feelings about. And also have your loving kindness pervade throughout all of the oceans and other bodies of water, and down to the core of the earth, and to the outermost atmosphere. And throughout the whole solar system. and the galaxy and the universe and beyond. Of this loving kindness that is generated within your own heart, mind, and radiated outwards now throughout infinite space to all sentient beings, every single sentient being. And now let's do the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. And may the precious body, Chitta, not yet born, rise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of Shunyata, not yet born, rise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. So, we don't need to do any more prayers after the dedication prayer. Just remind you, even if it's within your practice, as it is with mine. After I do dedication, I just remind you that I actually take refuge again and continue this refuge in all actions. You know, everything I do, whether it's busyness or whether it's chilling out. But when we do these classes, we don't need to continue onwards and do that. Okay. So obviously, we are continuing the commentary on my article, Meditation and Its Benefits, Getting to Know Your Mind. We covered the first paragraph last week, and we'll cover, as I mentioned, probably one a week, maybe more actually. We'll see. Last week, this is what we covered. And if you want the commentary, want to review the commentary, then have a look at the video on the YouTube channel from last week. Imagine if the whole world practiced meditation, if everybody in the world had the opportunity to get to know their mind, to clearly perceive the wholesome mental qualities that need to be adopted, nurtured, and perfected, as well as the unwholesome mental afflictions that need to be relinquished, eradicated, and then implemented the invaluable meditation methods taught by the Buddha. I think that you may agree that all wars and conflicts would be pacified, and peace and understanding would pervade the world. As His Holiness the Dalai Lama says, if every 8-year-old in the world is taught meditation, we will eliminate violence from the world within 1 generation. And so the second paragraph is this: we all want peace and happiness and want to avoid conflict and suffering. But we need to understand the causes of peace and happiness and adopt and practice them. We also need to understand the causes of conflict and suffering and abandon and eradicate them. This way, we will achieve our goal. But of course, if we don't do it this way, we won't achieve the goal. We go in the other direction. So I just do a little bit at a time. We all want peace and happiness. I think we can understand that. All sentient beings want peace and happiness. Who doesn't want that? But so many sentient beings live instinctively based on their habitual tendencies and thought for survival. So they don't think, I want happiness. It's in their mind, deep down, but they don't think, I've got to cause the happiness. They don't understand the law of karma. They just live by habit. So they continually don't cause this happiness. They cause the opposite. Human beings, it is said that we actually have a very deep level of consciousness if we train our mind well. The possibilities are endless in a sense, okay? But we are better or higher when it comes to this level of consciousness or this consciousness than the animals, for instance, and many beings in other realms. But if we don't utilize our intelligence, if we don't realize our ability to practice, to contemplate, to analyze, or investigate and analyze the Dharma teachings, and this law of karma, for instance, we don't utilize that, and we won't know what it is that we need to do to cause the happiness and to avoid the suffering and work our way on the path to enlightenment. We have to really use our intelligence. And you could say we are better than the animals, the insects, and so on. But if we don't use this, you could say we're worse, because we actually have the ability, the conditions to do this, to utilize our intelligence. If we go the opposite and behave in an evil way based on evil intentions, then we are worse than the animals, for sure, because they only kill to have a meal, don't they? Or out of fear to protect their lives. Whereas many human beings kill for sport or to possess land, have wars and things like that. So it's very sad that way. And so often as well, sort of people get into power, powerful positions in things like governments and businesses and things like that. I mean, I guess in a certain way they have to already be very selfish, very self-centered, very egotistical to want to do that anyway. Not all, but many. And so they're already there. But as soon as they get to power, it makes it worse. And they go off the deep end, to use a metaphor, without being able to swim, causing all sorts of suffering for themselves in the future. Okay, so once again, I'll have a look at this. I'm just talking off the top of my head. I have no plans for this commentary, just whatever comes on the day, okay? But I promise you, it accords with the Dharma. We all want peace and happiness and want to avoid conflict and suffering. Of course, we want to avoid conflict and suffering. We don't want to live with conflict in our own minds and in relation to our, relations with others and the natural environment, the world. And we don't want to suffer. But like I'm alluding to and mentioned before, we have to avoid causing the suffering. And we want the happiness. We have to know what it is we need to do to cause the happiness. We have to understand this universal law of karma that is happening all the time. It's not like we have a break from it. All of our conditions, everything we experience is a result of our karma, all the good, the bad, the indifferent. Karma from the past. Right now, we need to engage in good actions of the mind, the body, of the speech, avoid the negatives, and also purify the negative karma by engaging in these wholesome acts of body, speech, and mind, or deeds. Then we help ourselves to purify the negative karma. But also there are many practices, such as purification, meditations, visualizations, mantras, and really focusing with your mind, having positive regret, non-clinging regret, have a resolve not to engage in any negativities that we have engaged in the past, and thinking of a virtuous object such as the Buddha as we do this practice, and really engaging wholeheartedly in the practice with good intentions. Again, good intentions. We should do this. Why not? Then we can avoid causing suffering, and then we can cause happiness. So we all want peace and happiness and want to avoid conflict and suffering. But we need to understand the causes of peace and happiness and adopt and practice them. So, causes of peace and happiness. Obviously, sincere practice and wholehearted practice in meditation can help to cause this peace and happiness. But what is it based on? Based on morality. Once again, the Buddhist path, 3 higher trainings, or the Eightfold Path. Higher training in morality, the higher training in meditation or mental development, and the higher training in wisdom or insight. So by being moral, we calm our mind already. Then we focus the mind by practicing meditation. And the different types of meditation to develop good qualities of mind, such as love and kindness and so on. And as we do this, we are making our mind more ripe to understand the nature of reality, to develop the wisdom, or realize, I should say. So morality is of utmost importance on the spiritual path. And with this morality, first of all, mind, okay? It's in the mind, so we must have good intentions. As much as possible, free from greed, attachment, and base our existence on the right view of things, understanding the universal law of karma, having a good understanding, a sound understanding of the Four Noble Truths, and so on, okay? And the foundation as well is important. The relative truth, to understand what is relative truth and how it comes into being through conditions, cause and effect, or law of karma, that it's impermanent, unsatisfactory, and it has no self. And the ultimate reality, nirvana, is free from this. So important to know that, develop this understanding by practicing morality, meditation, and realizing the good qualities such as compassion and love and kindness that we need, the conditions that we need to eventually unveil the supreme wisdom in our true nature. And so morality, I just mentioned the mind. 3, we should avoid being greedy and having a desirous mind or a covetous mind, avoid harmful intentions mentally, and avoid having the wrong views. This way we can avoid causing suffering and therefore avoid experiencing the suffering. Then, of course, we need to, like I said before, we need to base everything on the right view, have good intentions, friendly intentions, goodwill, and have a generous, open, non-clinging mind as well. Then, of course, from the mind, this now relates then radiates then onto our physical actions and our speech. So our physical actions, if we maintain this good, wholesome mind, then it becomes very easy for us to only engage in good, wholesome actions of the body and of the speech, such as saving life and protecting life, respecting life, yours and others, not engaging in any harmful actions of body, not taking what is not freely given. We're doing for time, just 2 or 3 minutes. So, and also with the speech as well. We should go back to the body. So then we will obviously avoid taking life or destroying life, avoid stealing, and avoid any harmful activities physically. And then, of course, the speech, we need to avoid lying, speaking to divide people or slandering, speaking abusively and abusively, and also avoid gossiping. Instead, speak with meaning, skillfully, speak to unite, and with good communication, and then also good intention, of course, once again, back to the mind, and speak truthfully. And so we need to do this, okay? We may have a look again. So adopt and practice them. We also need to understand the causes of conflict and suffering and abandon and eradicate them. This way we will achieve our goal. So recognize ignorance, attachment, aversion. And whenever they are there, release our mind from them as much as we can. Wisdom, generosity, non-attachment, and loving kindness, patience, compassion. Adopt these, and then we will cause happiness. This way we can achieve our goal. So understand the causes of happiness, adopt them, nurture them, perfect them, understand the causes of unhappiness and suffering and avoid them. Uproot them, eradicate them. Why not? What else are you going to do? So let's, I just say to you that I rejoice in your goodness always, as per usual. And I'll see you next week. And we'll continue this commentary on meditation and its benefits, getting to know your mind. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya.